Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka, and today I am reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10, Episode 5. That episode is titled Sunshine and Sex. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, and let's get into this recap, review, talk about. That's what we're going to call it. We talking about. So this episode picks back up with the ladies having dinner and trying to out Stacy for talking to Chris Samuels. My biggest question with trying to out her about talking to Chris Samuels is they act like she wasn't single at the time and Chris Samuels wasn't single at the time, because both of those things are true. And if she doesn't know Monique, Chris Samuels isn't in a relationship, and she was pending a divorce from her husband, I'm trying to find where the issues are. Like, there are no issues in these circumstances with Chris. And so, let's move on. Stacy said that he was a great man and a great father. Angel said that she knew Chris because he was like a mentor to Bobby. She did try to backpedal on that statement about him being a mentor to Bobby. I'm not really sure what happens there. I do not personally have any like skin in the game of the football world, but I do know people that have played collegiate football and gone on to play professional football. And a lot of times they have relationships with the former players to be like, hey, this is the things that you need to watch out for, because they came from the exact same world as you, specifically when you're in a situation like, I believe how Angel clarified Chris and Bobby, like they went to the same college, and Chris saw that Bobby was on the trajectory to get drafted. So of course I'm gonna have those conversations with you. Why wouldn't I? Like, it's like a give back situation, worship situation. So Wendy tries to pull this conversation back around away from Stacy and back onto Giselle. She said that Ashley was Giselle's Captain Save-A-Ho. And I think that Ashley was just using this moment with Stacy to bring Monique back on the show, because, you know, Monique made something disappear for her. She's going to do Monique a solid to get back in the world of reality TV. Because Monique left and realized that the grass wasn't greener on the other side of going to, what did she go to? Love and Marriage, DC? I didn't watch that show. Either way. Stacy pretty much ended the conversation, was like, I got a man. It's not Chris. Giselle over there lying about her man. Let's move on. After dinner, they have dessert for Wendy's birthday. Oh, no, they hadn't even gotten to the Giselle conversation again. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. So after dinner, they go back to to Giselle and Ashley's villa, and they have desserts for Wendy, and they sing happy birthday to her. And Kay excuses herself while they play truth or drink. Wendy asked, have you ever been attracted to a woman sexually? She said yes, there was a woman from Stadium Nightclub who apparently had braces. Tia chimes in and says she has a crush on Rachel Maddow, and everybody's like, okay. They asked Jazzy, do you believe that there are no infractions with Darius? She said, currently no. Were there any in the past? Nothing about the way that she presents Darius on this show makes me believe that Darius is faithful to her. Everything leans to Jazzy will put up with anything to be with this man. And I do mean anything. So it is what it is. Wendy asked Angel if she could kill anyone in the group, who would it be? She said Giselle. And she said, I was so nice to you, and then you called me a catfish. And Wendy was like, oh, look at Angel getting a pulse since Kay left. I was like, no, it's not. I don't believe that it's the since Kay left portion of it. I think that this was an opportunity for me, or for Angel, to defend myself. Like, you're asking me a question about, you know, usually they use like F, kill, marry, but they was just like kill. And this was an opportunity to be like, Giselle, what you did was foul. I didn't like it. And they ended up hugging it out. But I think that when people forget that when you hug things out doesn't necessarily mean that the feelings are over. And so Angel goes back to her like villa with Kay, and they talk about being disappointed in Giselle because of the catfish. Or no, that was the next day. She talked about being disappointed in the catfish situation. And Giselle comes over and Kay was like, we was just talking about you. And then she left. Angel starts crying and says she's disappointed in Giselle. Like, you have had 3 kids back to back, like a set of twins and then another baby. You know that the difference between the picture of Angel that was posted and what Angel looks like now is weight. To say that she looks like a totally different person, no, she has gotten bigger, as have most women that have had kids, self included. Angel is just like, I'm not going to go lay on a table to have a snapback to make you guys feel better about me. Like, fast forward to like closer to the end of the episode, she was potentially talking about having another baby with her husband. Why would I go and have some type of surgery to address weight gain and like trying to nip and tuck things only for me to go and have another baby? Like, that doesn't make sense. And Angel, outside of being on this show, has not been in a position where she needs to present herself differently or smaller or be pulled up, because like, she got the man. Like, she not out here trying to pretend like she got it all together to get the man. She's like, I got him, we doing it, and we making babies, leave me alone. She was telling Giselle that she was a red carpet host, and she was like, I can't believe that you're being this mean and you're a mom. Giselle didn't know how to take that. And I can appreciate Angel in that moment, because most of the time when people come at Giselle, they're trying to crush her spirit. Angel was like, this is where you had me messed up at. You need to know this, and I'm addressing it with you. Don't let it happen again. And she moved on. Don't touch me either. So Giselle leaves Angel because Angel's still crying. She goes and she meets up with the other girls and tells them that they're going to have breakfast and they're going to do the excursion. Ashley asks to speak with Kay. And as they're walking off, Giselle is telling everybody that Angel was crying a lot. And everybody's like, oh, why is she crying? Because she didn't have her friend? It's like, shut up. Y'all insulted her. Like, an insult is an insult. She has gained weight. The fact that she has gained weight and y'all are addressing it as if she's trying to pretend to be something that she's not. She literally just used an older picture. That's it. That's all. Kay tells Ashley that making insensitive jokes isn't nice, and she's not engaging with them in that. She tells Kay that Jazzy and Wendy were not a good time yesterday, and she's also not dealing with that. The other girls are over there talking, like minus Angel, because Angel hadn't come up yet, about Kay leaving from celebrating Wendy, and Wendy said her slip is showing. Now, judging this without knowing the information that we currently know about Wendy, it looks like you're just upset with Kay about something. Kay's upset with you about something, and y'all are just piling it on. At this point, though, like 2025, like November, Wendy, your slip is showing, and you should have calculated your words a little bit better. Angel comes up and she talks to Kay and Ashley, and she was like, Bobby was not having that conversation. And they do like a a flashback to her having the conversation with Bobby about what happens with Giselle. And Bobby was like, "What, she like 60? She needs to shut up." Talking about Photoshop. Wendy said that there's a dark cloud surrounding Angel and Kay. And I'm like, no, there's literally a dark cloud around all the people that you're trying to call your friend. Giselle is not happy. Ashley is not happy. You kicking it with Stacy right now, but you ain't even really seeing it for her. Angel and Kay seem to be the most sure of themselves out of the group. And I just feel like it's really giving Mean Girl, and Kay and Angel aren't taking it. They leave from there and they go do the excursion where they do a tour of Alexander Hamilton's house. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I still have never seen Hamilton. I keep saying I'm gonna watch it. I keep not watching it. I think at this point it's just gonna be something that I'll probably do in the next 10 years and not anytime soon. During the tour, Tia pulls Angel to the side and asks her how she's feeling about the comments yesterday. And they tried to throw Tia under the bus and was like, Tia, you said that you thought she was doing a lot of filtering too. And Tia was like, yeah, but I didn't say it to the girl. That's the difference between me and you. Y'all basically was like, you're bigger. Why you lying in your pictures? And I was like, she looks different. And I moved on with my life. And I can appreciate Tia for saying that, because there's a lot of things that we see and we don't say. And that's the problem, is that Giselle not only said it, but she tried to embarrass this girl in front of everybody. And Angel wasn't having the embarrassment. Like, I'm going to tell you how I feel about this. So Angel, Tia, and Jazzy are still talking. And Angel tells Tia that I'm not an OG wag because my husband was a starter. I'm an OG wag because I put in the effort to get to know people. And that's the difference between me and the world that I came from and me in this world, is that I try to build the relationships. And you guys are just out here like, whatever, I'm going to be mean to you. So Jazzy then tries to blame it on Kay, and Angel was like, nah, y'all are annoying. And they do a flashback to Angel saying that she was annoyed with Kay. They go back to the villas again after this excursion. Wendy calls their villa CGC, the Curly Girl Collective. Giselle and Ashley call themselves the PPP, the Pussy Pink Palace. And they bring up Ashley saying, saving Giselle, and go back to Stacy lying. So this was where I was talking about earlier about the Chris Samuel situation. Like, Chris is single. He is divorced. Stacy also at this point in time is divorced. Although she's dating her ex-husband now, Stacy is divorced. With the exception of Monique, a person that Stacy does not know, and the only common thread that she and Monique have is the fact that they were both on this show, not at the same time. I don't understand what the big deal is. Like, that's just like saying every man in Potomac is off limits because Monique lived in Potomac once. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm happy that Angel just cut off the let's stop talking about Stacy line conversation. Like, we're talking about you. So they go back to Sean Spring. I think that's what they said his name was. And Sean having met her child. We did find out in the confessional that Sean met Grace. And she was like, her dad told her before he died that she needs to find her a man that's like a comfortable shoe. And she's like, Sean is comfortable. And it's like, okay, one of your 3 children has met Sean. You're describing Sean as comfortable. Sean, you don't want this relationship on television because you see what has happened every other time you have presented a man on this television show. So she's keeping it close to her heart, which means she actually really does like him. And the only thing that she could say is we're dating, not he's my boyfriend. So then Angel tells us that Bobby sent her $5,000 and she was going to go shopping. I thought that they were going to do real shopping, but they did tourist shopping. Like, they went to the little village that almost every island has. um, before they go to this village, we get the story of how Tia met Rob, and Wendy asks Tia how did her family feel about him not being Nigerian. She confirmed that they felt the way and said that she didn't realize that there were going to be so many cultural differences, not just between him not being Nigerian and her being Nigerian, but also in the differences of them growing up, her growing up in England versus him growing up, I believe, in Chicago. So you have the Nigerian side, you have the side that grew up in England, and then you also have the facet of Chicago, which is totally different world from both of those. So this is three very separate, isolating places, and they're all of those, for lack of a better word, cultures are combining in their household. So she's like, it's hard. Like, it's things that her kids say or do. The Chicago side of the family wouldn't find them to be disrespectful, but the Nigerian and the English side would be like, absolutely not. You need to get control of your kids. So after this conversation, they all get back on another party bus because they're about to go to an artisan village, which is the shopping place. It definitely reminded me of like a cruise port. So, you know, like when you get off of a ship on a cruise port, you got all those people selling shops. And we didn't cruise to Jamaica, but there was also a little village like this in Jamaica that they took us shopping. And it's a tourist attraction. The people go there. They make good money by selling us the shirt with the country's name on it because we need to bring back souvenirs to show our family where we went so that they can wear this shirt and sleep in it. Wendy got mad about, or Wendy had something smart to say about the fact that Bobby sent Angel $5,000. Now, shopping to a group of women in the socioeconomic level that these women are at sounded like that they were going shopping, not to an artisan village. So I understand Bobby giving her $5,000 to go shopping. He could have given her $300 to go spend in an artisan village. Did he know where she was going? No. Did she know where she was going? Wendy, shut up. You look like a hater. So the girls are talking. Angel, Stacy, Ashley, and I think Jazzy are talking. And Angel texts Bobby the word sex. And then Stacy was like, I'm going to text Timo, as Trina Braxton calls him, her husband, the word sex. And he texts back and was like, what? With who? And she's like, with me, and sent a picture of herself. And the picture did not look like she was trying to entice him for sex. It just looked like she was sending a picture. He responded, I think you have the wrong number. So everybody laughs about that. In a separate scene, Jazzy and Wendy, I believe, were in one of the little shops. And Wendy started feeling not so hot. And so she asked Jazzy to get her things for her. And she was going to go outside and sit down. She was like, she feels like she has the flu or cold or something. Giselle was like, go get on the bus. Like, go sit down. Go get out of the heat. It's hot in here. We're going to be fine. You just go. Ashley then runs out to go tell Giselle about what happened with Stacy. Stacy runs out and was like, stop talking about me. They start getting their steel drum lesson. Wendy comes back out because she's like, I need to be in every scene. Because if I didn't feel good, I wouldn't care about going to go lay down. I would have actually been like, can y'all find me a driver to get me back to my room? But Wendy's like, I'm going to push through. She goes out. She's like, sick or not, I'm going to go play on these steel drums. Later on that day, they come back to her room. She's laid out with her clothes laying on top of her. Full face beat, talking about some she's sick. Girl, just be sick. You're not going to miss a check. You was in this episode. Everybody goes to have dinner and they leave her. The cook or the chef comes out tells them that he's gonna cook them the meal, offers them a drink. They all start talking, and Angel said, I just want to know if I'm gonna be on the menu again. Giselle was like, the night is still young. So then Giselle says to Kay that Wendy was offended that she didn't stay for her birthday dinner. Kay was like, and I felt her in that moment. I'm not gonna sit here and celebrate you and be fake with you, and I'm also tired. I'ma just go. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm going back to my room. Jazzy then said that Angel told us that she didn't have a good time. They're referring to the dessert gathering for Wendy when they sang happy birthday to her. Angel was like, I didn't have a good time. And so they flashed back and was like, you were having fun, you were smiling. She was like, and I slept on it. And I realized where y'all had me messed up at. And no, I did not have a good time, and I'm standing on that. They kind of end that exchange, and then Kay was like, Jazzy, I'm hurt by you saying that I made a comment about Wendy. And Jazzy was like, you made that comment about something that I shared with you in public. I mean, in private. And then she said that Kay was jealous. Kay was like, you're jealous? You think I'm jealous of you because your man had 2 babies on you? Wait, was it 1 or was it 2? Because I haven't gotten the story straight as to if the first baby was had on you or if it was just the second one, because one of them was. And I'm like, you thought you was keeping it in private? Because we had a whole dishing conversation about this last season. Girl, that man embarrassed you. And on top of that man embarrassing you, you was like, I will do anything to keep this man. And that should have never been a conversation. It should have been, my fiance has, like, if you were going to stay, my fiance has 2 kids. We co-parent well with their mother. And there should have never been a question of the timeline, because if you don't present the information, we don't know where to run with it. But what you tried to do was say something on the TV show to make you have the upper hand, and their mom was like, that ain't how it happened. And she told us what really went down. But then Jacqueline had told Kay that Jazzy called her a snake. I wish Jacqueline was around a little bit this season, and I know she's not there because she was Mia's friend. But Jacqueline did stir the pot a little bit with everybody. Kay said that she could be responsible if she actually knew what she allegedly said about Wendy. Jazzy then tells us in the confessional that Kay told her not to trust Wendy. I'm trying to figure out, like, she act like Kay was the one that told her about the insurance fraud. Like, it's T to say I don't trust her, or I don't trust her as far as I can see her, or it's something about her that I don't. I mean, granted, it's salacious enough if this is supposed to be your friend, but Kay has also said that Wendy treats her like they're TV friends, like they're friends when the cameras are rolling, and as soon as they say and scene, Wendy's like, don't call me, don't text me, don't talk to me. And so I could see Kay saying not to trust a person like that. But Jazzy was presenting this like she had some real tea on the situation, and that wasn't what it was. Anywho, it took me far too long to watch this episode of Real Housewives of Potomac. I started on Monday when it came out on Peacock, and I literally did not finish this episode until Friday afternoon. I watched like 5 or 10 minutes and I paused and I moved on with my life. It was something about keeping up the mess about Chris Samuels that was bothering me. But also just the little digs that they're taking at Angel. Because Angel is just like, no, you're not going to treat me that way. I don't know. It was just very, very bothersome. I'm hoping that we get past this Angel catfish, dark cloud over Kay. Like, Real Housewives, not necessarily Potomac, because most of my, like, fun Real Housewives of Potomac. I mean, Real Housewives was of Atlanta. But Real Housewives used to be a really fun show to watch. And I feel like they're trying to manufacture drama that does not need to be manufactured. This might have been the wrong season for me to jump in on trying to recap, but we're here. I'm going to try to see it through to the end. But that's it. That's all I have for this. Are you guys watching Ready to Love? I think it's in Detroit this time around. First episode came on Friday. I haven't had the chance to watch it yet because today is Saturday. I am going to try to watch that. And then also my husband and I are going to get out our, I think it's 6, 7, and 8 reviews of Married at First Sight. We have watched 6 and 7, but not 8. I think that's it. We're trying to decide on if we're going to do Ready to Love and what that's going to look like with this already hectic Married at First Sight recording schedule. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do Married to Medicine because I think I want to do that more than I want to do Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I don't know that I want to commit to RHOA and Married to Medicine. I just always want to talk to people about these shows, and most of my friends don't keep up with them. So I just try to figure it all out and how I'm going to put it in. But if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and comment down below. How did you guys feel about what Jazzy finally told us that Kay allegedly said about Wendy? And if you think it's true or not. And we'll see you guys later on this weekend for Married at First Sight. Bye, y'all.